Hello everyone, just going to be giving you a bit of commentary on Paul's mock test. We're just coming out of Speke Test Centre. He did this on a Saturday, so you don't really want to go in there when it's busy. It's not fair on the candidates. There's only one examiner on Speke. This was on Saturday, and so I've managed to sneak in and not interfere with anyone's test. But anyway, to right here, mirrors indicate right. And that's just my computer making that noise. So here we go again, and we're going to come to the end of the road. It's really important that you check your mirrors just before you signal. So we're going to go left here, so it's middle mirror, left mirror, indicate left. Probably the curve to the left. And then when you get to the end here, check like you're watching a tennis match, to the right, ahead and left. Constantly keep doing it. I've had a pupil fail there because, believe it or not, he missed the 30-ton wagon, which is just anxiety was just got the better of him. In other words, his nerves. And we're going to take the next road on the right, so it's middle mirror, right mirror, indicate right, and you want to get in where the arrow is. So this puts you in the, so you're not blocking anyone on your left. I've been in the back of the test a few times when they come round to here. Some of them just say follow it to the right, because it's just ahead to the right. And some might say a right here because it's past 12 o'clock. So you just mirror indicate right, and indicate left. Mirror indicate left as you come off. If you haven't got time to do that because it's a mini roundabout, just check your mirrors to come off, middle and left. They've started going into the school. Another thing that what I say to people, anyone who's having driving lessons around Speke, if you see any examiners, they usually got a yellow vest on, right? Watch where they are, because that'll be a route. Like, because this one here, I slightly changed this one because I seen the examiner the other week and I thought, what's he doing around this not this particular area, it's further on. So it's always handy to keep an eye. If you're doing lessons around Speke, watch out for the examiners, because if they're in a place where you haven't seen them before, the chances are that they've changed the route. You know, it is open to the examiner's discretion. It says that on the piece of paper that you used to get. So we're going to go left here, mirror indicate left. Now, what's the 20 sign? Okay, but you've got to be careful here because this is an unmarked crossing. So just slow down, check right and left. Make sure you see them doing this checking. Don't just drive straight through with your head looking straight. Let them see you do this. And you generally go through areas like this because you know it's going to be busy and you're probably going to meet another vehicle or vehicles. So on the marking sheet that's meeting traffic. And when you come to the end of the estate, this is like a T-junction here, so this is not a crossroad, it's like a staggered junction there. I'm not sure for delivery man with his van. And when you get to the end of this road, you're going to be doing a right. So it's the middle mirror, your right mirror, indicate. When you want to do it now, indicate, get yourself in position. And the speed and look, marry these together. So you can see the speed limit now change to 30. And this is where you do your tennis match. Look to the right, look ahead, look left, and constantly keep doing this. Don't stare in one place, because if you're just looking to the right, you just never know, because something might come out on the other side of on the other side of the road there. So remember the tennis match, right to the server, look at the net, and then look left to the receiver, and then bring your vision back that way, your observation. I think we pull over here. Yeah, we do, yeah. This is Paul's mock test. And all they're doing here is to see if you can pull over safely. And then, obviously, they'll ask you to move off safely. They might just say move off. Some of them will say move off when it's safe to do so. So yeah, you wanna make sure. The main one on this one that you find is, was saying that I had one a while ago where they didn't park close enough to the curb. So be wary about that one. Instead of parking next to the curb, you were parking in the middle of the road. So it was like, it kept giving another chance to fix it, but the pupil didn't fix it, so they got a serious fault for it. Yeah, so you want to be about this far from the curb when you pull in. You don't want to be like this. Yeah, this is ideal, this bit. So at the end of this road, we're going to be doing a right, middle mirror, right mirror, indicate right. If you haven't got an instructor, this will help you, because this is what they're looking for. This is what the test is. The DVSA saying these are the essential skills that you need to stay safe, which is the mirror signal manoeuvre. The roundabout, it's first exit left here, so you mirror left, single left. So when you ever got to be on a bus like this, what are you expecting it to do? It's pretty obvious, isn't it? Unless it's saying not in service. There'll be somewhere, if it's in front, it doesn't mean it could be another bus, you know, it could be a Riva bus, it could be a stagecoach bus, it could be any bus or a coach or a wagon, but generally, many of the buses, they're going to stop somewhere. Now, someone was at the bus stop there, but that wasn't their bus, or it didn't stop there. I've noticed in Speke they have the airport bus, and it only stops at selected bus stops. So we're going up to the old Garston test centre here. This is where they built a big medical place here, a big silver thing. It lights up when the sun's on it. And notice they fixed the road around there, because it used to be absolutely terrible around there. It's still a bit rough there. It's hard to understand with Speke because it's not as big as not a screen test route, and yet it's got a lower pass rate. I think it's got a lot to do with all the right turns that you tend to get on this Speke test routes. And this on the left here now, where the black gate is and the wall is, that's the old Garston test centre, and that was an absolutely tiny place to park. A nightmare to imagine reversing in there, and you'd only allow, like, if there were 6 examiners in there, there'd be like 4 bays left either side. It was a tight squeeze. Now obviously, to the car in front, you don't want to do that on your driving test. I know it's poorly sort of like marked, but you can make the outline of the bike. So definitely stay out of that. When you're coming across on this one, I had a pupil fail on this one, and I've got to be honest, the decision to me was, I just thought it was not a good one by the examiner. He didn't give himself brownie points. What happened was he's moved off when the light changed, and he slightly moved to the left. He talked about like this much to the left, and he said that he failed him because he didn't check his mirrors because he moved over to the left. That was when just after the pandemic. He made him do a U-turn at the second light. What I want you to aim for here is when you're going ahead on this one. Remember, if you're going to go left, it's the left lane because it's left only. This one is ahead and right. But on this particular mock test we're doing here, we're going to go straight ahead. And when the blue car moves off, you'll see just under the traffic light, there's like a yellow sign. Aim for that. Just go straight for that. Don't go left. Just keep going towards the traffic light. You'll see it in a moment now. And that'll keep it in a nice straight position, and then you can follow the road round, and then you go under the bridge. And they catch a lot of people out when they say you take the next road on the right. So we're going to go past South Parkway in a moment, but I want you to aim for this yellow little sign with a little bollard it is. You'll see it now under the light. Can you see it? Just aim for that, keep going for that, and then turn just there, and you'll be fine. Now with the danger with this one, you normally get back to the left, but on this occasion we were turning right after the bridge, so you would have to get back to the left, and then you'd have to move back to the right. But where they come unstuck here is that instead of turning, they take the first turn, which you don't do. Look at the markings on the floor. You see that there? Bit of a pause. And then when you turn right, you get into the straight arrow. Don't go to the right arrow, because that means you're going to go back around. Well, that'll be a U-turn. An examiner once told me not so long ago, there's no U-turns on the driving test. The only time you do a U-turn is if you go the wrong way, and they want to help you get back on the route. So it's gone to a 40 here. when it's built up like this, you don't really want to be doing 40 mile an hour because you don't know who's going to walk out here. And I think if you've been driving for the last couple of years, there's a lot of pedestrians and cyclists and scooters just tend to just come out in front of you. For some reason they think they got the right of way since they changed the rules, and the dual carriageway really dangerous. In fact, yeah, there we are. We've got a scooter here, or a cyclist there is. So the traffic lights, yeah, there's the cyclist, yeah. We're going to be doing it right, middle mirror, right mirror, and indicate right. And so you want to stay where that car's going, that position there. And you can see there's no entry sign on the left. So now you're going to go into a new speed limit here. It's going from 40 to 30. We go into what's the name here, a car park. Now they do this from both ways. They come from the other way. The girl failed a couple of years ago. She was coming from the opposite side. So as we're doing a left in here, it's a bit easier going left. But when you're doing the right, it's on that bend. And it's easy to just turn too early, which she did do. That's what she fell for. So you'd either got to drive into the bay or a reverse into the bay. We did a reverse into the bay. Sorry, a drive into the bay. But they do reversing into the bay. You just don't know what you're going to get, you know. So what you need to do is pay attention to the examiner and remember, listen to what they're saying. He or she, listen to them. They're really happy when you listen to them. If you're not listening to them, then there might be a problem. So if you're going to do I'd drive into the bay, I'd stay to the left. This gives you a better turn to get in to a bay. And the other thing is, don't see like there's a car here. He's picked the one where there's no car in front of him, because if you go too fast, right, say like he was in the other bay and he went too fast, the chances are they might think you're going to hit that car. At least this way you've got a clear gap in front of you. And you can use the lines from the other bay. This is something like a carvery or something like that. I've never actually been into the place there, although I've been coming in this car park for a long time, like, but I've never been in there and had a meal or a drink or anything like that. It's supposed to be nice, I believe, so I don't really know. So now it's a matter of, so if you're not sure you're in, right, this is what you want to do. Make sure you either put your handbrake on or just keep your foot on the brake, and if it's a manual, keep your clutch down. Or you can just put your handbrake on, stick it in neutral. Look around the car and open your door and have a look at the floor, and if you think, oh dear, I'm over the line here, and then quickly shut the door, select reverse, look all around, you're allowed to do this, make sure it's safe, go back. Make sure you go far enough back so you can see the lines of the bay that you're going to go into, and then obviously stick it into first, or it's an automatic, stick it in drive. Look all around, the observation, the three things, remember: observation, control, accuracy, which is your judgment. Apply the three at the same time, so that's why it's important. The secret to this is the control. You keep it slow, you'll have time to look around, yeah, and while you're looking around you can check where the bay is. It is that simple, it's not rocket science. So obviously looking around here to see if it's safe. I think there was someone behind us, I think. So don't be afraid when you get in the bay, open the door, but before you open the door, mean this, check around, you must check around, don't just open the door. Okay, they might say, well, look, could have been a car there, ready to park next to you. Look around, especially over your right shoulder, open your door, and you're probably in. And if you're in this much, that's good enough. If you're a perfectionist, which I recommend, throw that out the window. As long as you're in, you're in. Obviously, if you're on the line or you're over the line, go back and then go back in. Yeah, there's like, you can't see it, maybe like there's like a pub or a restaurant just around the corner. Big bump here as well, so you don't want to be going too fast down here. There's another one as well. So when we get to the end of it, we're going to do it right. Middle mirror, right mirror, indicate right. Be careful here, because there is you can't see it on this camera, but there is a bend, and the car's coming around the bend. This is where one of my pupils, when she was turning right in here, instead of waiting there, she went where this side of the lane, and the examiner had to pull it back. And then she drove into there, and she had a nightmare. She's passed the test now, by the way. She sent me a message, when was it? It's got to be a few months ago now. She ended up passing in witness. I took her 3 times, and she kept having a bad. It was just the anxiety. But I gave her some advice to get a car. She got a car, and I said the car will get your license. And I couldn't tell you how many times she failed, but eventually she got the pass, and she ended up doing it in witness. So some people just like to change it, because I think Speke, a lot of people have got a lot of bad feedback from Speke. I find that sometimes you go there and everyone passes, and other times nobody passes. So we're going to do it right at the lights here. Remember, you would have checked your mirrors. If you haven't done it, do it now and indicate right. You know, it's best to just get a minor for the timing than not indicating at all. Remember, concentrate for every second you're on your driving test. Every second. It doesn't stop. You cannot switch off for a second. The times of it, you know, like when you get a debrief at the end of a test. Now the speed limit's gone to 40, you know. The times I've heard the examiners saying, oh, you switched off for a second there, and that 1 second cost them. We pulled out and the car's turned up, and the examiners have to slam on the brakes. Now I want to give you a bit of advice here, because it is a 40 on here, and as you're coming up here, you'll come to a bend, right? And you're not even thinking ahead. You're not thinking far enough ahead. You're just thinking about where I'd be positioned, what's my speed. And the danger here is not this one, when it comes up in the moment. Now most of the time when you get around this bend, there's parked cars, and they're not far from the bend. So if you're coming up here, just come check your mirrors and just come off your gas a little bit and expect cars. There is some here, but they're further down, so you should be checking the mirrors. Can you see? You know, sometimes they're further up, but this one was further down. Can you see where it is? And there's a few more after it. Well, sometimes they're at the top of the bend. So don't go flying around the bend expecting nothing to be there, because there might be a parked car there, and if you get a surprise when you're driving, that's when you'll make a mistake. So remember, expect the unexpected, and whatever you do, don't think, oh yeah, it's 40, I've got to get to 40. When you get to the bend, check your mirrors, come off that gas and check that right mirror, because you may have to move over. If you can't move over, just slow down, stop, let them go past, and then you pull out. Left at the lights. Mirrors indicate left. I've had quite a few comments lately. A lot of people are passing. You know, I don't even know they are. I'm really happy that I do these videos now, because it can be like, I mean, it's Sunday. I've worked all week. I finished earlier on. What time did I finish? I think I finished about 4 o'clock. Managed to go in the gym for half an hour. And I come in on something to eat, and it's now, what time is it now? It's just 7:20 and I'm doing this, and then I've got to put it through the what's the name, you know, when it renders. Sometimes that can be a nightmare there. There's another parked car here, mirror check, move over to your right. It's a 40 again. This is we're coming on to Menlove Avenue now. This is where John Lennon lives, on the right. And you know, remember 40 is the maximum speed limit. Remember that maximum speed limit. Sometimes you might be able to get to it. There's a cyclist there. And that was a mirror check. That would be just a quick mirror check. Mirror check to come back. So mirror check, this one, that one, to go around. If there was a vehicle behind you, you put your indicator on. If there's no one there, just check your mirrors. Check your mirrors to come back. Every time you change direction, you need to check your mirrors, and if it's right, it's middle and then right. Always use the middle one first. The middle one is the one that helps you with your distance and your judgment, vehicles behind. The right one obviously does help, but it doesn't give a true reflection because it's made of convex glass, which means it bends from the middle. So all that allows you to do is see a larger space on a smaller screen, but it looks a little bit further away. The next time you're in the car, look in your interior and then look in your side mirrors and you'll see a difference. The middle one in the middle, that's the one that gives you the true reflection of the distance and the speed. You know? Okay, we're going to go left at the lights, middle mirror, left mirror, and indicate left. And some people probably say, well, is it, Peter, there's a driveway there? I think they understand, you know what I mean, it's not a road. You're on a driving test, I'm not going to be saying anything about that. If you wanted to, you could wait till you get past the driveway and do it, but I wouldn't really worry about it, you know, because then obviously you're on a driving test and they've said left at the lights, then you're doing what you're supposed to do, mirror, signal, position, speed and look. So you're coming off like a quick dual carriageway and you go down to a single lane here. It gets a bit tight down here. This is Calderstones Park. I was in there I think 2 weeks ago it was. They'd had a fair in there, so I was with the grandkids. My partner's grandkids. A lot of the footballers live around there. Yeah, when you get further down in there's those parked cars. So you want to make your intentions clear what you want to do here. You want to move out earlier. So you don't want to hide behind the parked cars. You want to let them know you're going to come through. This, you know, sometimes, most of the time, you can get through. You just got to do it a little bit slower. I always say to my pupils, "Are you lucky?" And they go, "What do you mean, Peter?" And well, to be lucky. No one's coming the other way, there was only one car coming up. Remember, every time you approach a traffic light, check your mirrors, because this can happen. And they want to see that you know what's behind you. Because you just don't want to slam on your brakes without checking them, because there could be someone, and if you're learning to drive, or even if you're driving, you notice there's a lot of tailgaters out there, which means they're just right behind you. So you got to make sure that you can brake safely. So you wouldn't just slam on, you just touch the brakes lightly, let them warn that you're going to stop at the lights. That's why it's important that you use your mirrors, especially when you're approaching traffic. Traffic lights is a hazard, by the way. Anything that causes you to reduce speed or change the direction, as in the highway code, that is classed as a hazard. Like a roundabout, not a hazard. That keeps the traffic flowing. And there's a school warning sign here, so the school warning sign is coming up, but actually it's a 20 here, so you got to be careful here. Get your speed down. Obviously during the week, well, the schools are off at the moment, but during the week, you know, coming through here about 3 o'clock is absolutely rammed. Proper rammed. So if you're planning your journey safely, unless you're picking the kids up yourself, avoid this area. Just go just go, and that's what planning your journey safely is about. Don't go down here, go down another road, further away from here. Now the speed limit doesn't change back until you get over the bridge. When you get to the train station here now, you'll see the speed limit sign in a moment. It changes back to 30, so you want to be scanning up and to the sides, then your mirrors, and then back again, constantly. And here's where it goes to 30 here. So the traffic lights want to go left, mirror, left mirror, and indicate left. So that covers you then when you do that as you're approaching. You've checked your mirrors. Do you love it when you check your mirrors? Because don't, trust me, they'll be checking, they'll have a mirror in the car. If you go in your own car, make sure you get an inside mirror, interior mirror. You can get them on the internet for about £7–8. And two L plates. See, because people who turn up without the mirrors and the L plates don't realise that now all of a sudden the examiner, they will supply them. But do you really want them? Do you want them to like you? Well, obviously they'll like it if they go to your car and they go, well, you haven't got L plates, they'll have to go back into the test centre, which is going to frustrate them because they're going to be late, because they're on a timer. I mean, I do feel sorry for the examiners because they literally get out of a test, they've got about 10 if that to go back onto the next test. You have to make a report, and it's constantly in and out. Sometimes these are doing 5, 6, maybe 7 lessons, 7 tests a day. I certainly wouldn't do it. I think the DVSA got a lot. I'd say that they must get a lot of complaints because these examiners here are getting like worked too hard. And you think about it, it's not easy getting in with a total stranger, and you know they don't know whether you can drive to the standard. They don't know whether you're terrified because of your nerves. They haven't got a clue. Or they just see a person, call out the name, they got to call your name out, say hello to you, what do you want me to call you, and then you walk outside, check your eyesight, ask you the safety question in the car or outside the car, and another one while you're moving. So really speaking, they don't really know you. It's like, so you imagine doing that every day. I can see why they don't get many to work on the weekends. Anyway, we come to a mini roundabout here. Sometimes what they'll get, some examiners won't say nothing because at the beginning of the test they'll say to you, just check your mirrors though. They will just say follow the road ahead. And if you follow the road ahead, that's it, the second exit on this particular roundabout. Straight ahead, you've got to give way to them on the right. If you're in a European country, it's give way to them on the left. But obviously this is United Kingdom. This is actually Speke in Liverpool. I get a lot of questions of people saying to me, shall I go back to the left and then pull out to the right? Well, if you're going to go back to the left, you change direction once, and then you've got to come back to the right, so you change direction twice. If you stick to the speed limit, it's 30 on here. You know, you shouldn't have a problem. You will get idiots that will cut you up. You get them everywhere. So we're going to be taking the next road. It's coming up now any moment now. The next road on the left, and it's middle mirror, left mirror, with your indicator on. Now be careful when you come in here, because you're going to get stuff like this. This is where, I'll show you where Nicole failed. And she didn't fail on this one, she got onto the unmarked crossing, so she's reduced the speed. She did actually fail on one of the tests for another unmarked crossing, and just because she didn't look from side to side. So this is a first test on here, but she take the next right. She got a little bit confused here, so she was halfway stuck, and then she turned late, and as she turned late, see where the curb is here on the left, and you see near enough that happened then. She just clipped that curb, failed it. Like, wow. But when I think about that examiner, she paused for a long time before she decided to say, because you get told at the end. So she must have been thinking. But you know, she went on the curb, so it's a fail. So at the end of this road, we're going to do a right, middle mirror, right mirror, And this is where you reduce your position's fine here. Reduce the speed. Keep checking. Remember the tennis match. So I'm going to bring you back to the junction that we were at before, after South Parkway, where we came from the right and did it right. Now this time, and this is why some people get confused, especially when there's markings on the floor, so I don't know whether they all like that. This is a right turn. And before we came from the right hand side, and went, see where that car's going there, see where it says straight, and we've got to go in and we're going to do it right. So make sure you check from the left, you check from the right, check on your left. And this is another one here, this is one of my pupils, and I was mentioned before about being lucky. He came down here, right, and instead of staying in this lane, and the queue was bigger than this, he's gone right up where the other two cars are on the right. But he's been told to turn left at the second traffic lights. And this is how lucky, that's what I'm saying, that you're lucky. He was sitting there, and there was a little old lady next to him, and he was telling me, he said, Peter, he said, I was looking at her, and I was saying, can I get in? And she just ignored, she shouldn't laugh, she just ignored him. And he thought, oh, so you can imagine the sweat, he's only got a few minutes, the test centre's not far from me. And he's thinking, what am I going to do, what am I going to do? It's on my YouTube channel. And he's thinking, what am I going to do? And he thought, the only thing I can do, I've got to get back to the left. Because she mentioned it at the end, by the way, she did say, you were lucky there. Because what happened was, a couple of cars turned into the on the left here now. This is a railway bridge that you're under now. This is South Parkway train station. What happened was, somebody turned left into the thingy, which left that space. And then he managed to get, because he was trying to be letting it know, you know what I mean? He was doing alright. So basically you'll see South Parkway, you see where that car turning left in there. Well, that's South Parkway train station. He was stuck on the right hand lane, just where the traffic lights are there. And he's like, what have we got to do here? What have we got to do? How am I going to get in? And if you see the video, you see the little old lady. I don't think she actually seen him. She wasn't being rude or nothing like. But he said, Peter, I was praying, please. And, but she drove straight on, and luckily the car behind decided to go left. And fair play to him, like, you know what I mean, didn't hesitate. Quick mirror check, indicated, got to the left. And she said at the end, she laughed at the end, she said, got yourself stuck there a bit, didn't you? You're lucky that car, so they're watching everything you do, you know what I mean? But she was quite happy because he handled it really well, he didn't panic. He didn't go, oh my God, I made a mistake, I'm going to whip myself. You know, so even though he was a perfectionist, like it's one thing I always say to people, you know, perfectionist, especially driving, it's a barrier to learning. I've seen people fail for like before when we did the bay park. I had a guy, this was him on the screen, reversed into the bay, absolutely, you couldn't complain, he was in, but he wasn't straight, he didn't like it, so we went back out, where he started from. And then come back again, and he couldn't get in. And the third time he went out and he got back, he just said stop. And he went, awful sorry. You've just failed. He said, he said, just that bay park. Then he said, why didn't you stay when you, this is what he said to the examiner. We're going to go left here, okay? So he said, what did you go back out for? And he went, well, I wasn't straight. He said, but, you know, does it have to be straight? You were in the bay. He said, it was about a thingy. Get your certificate, get it written out, tell you it's passed. He said you drove out, he said I couldn't stop you. And then he oh, imagine that, perfection. So I want you to watch this bit here, because I've had people got a serious fault for this. They'd already failed anyway. If you look here now, there's a giveaway line, right? Don't turn, wait till you get to where the arrow points to the left. Mirror check, get to the left, and you're going left here, so we'll obviously put your indicator on. I had one, you went over that line, I know, you know, I know, but you've got a serious fault for this. So my job is to tell you that, you know, whatever you do, don't go over that giveaway line, keep it straight, when the arrow points that way, will indicate left, and get over. And when you go around there, you're going to come onto the dual carriageway, and there's no speed limit sign here, so the examiner should say to you, this is a 40 zone. If it isn't, you know it is, because I'm telling you. So you still got a mirror left, indicate left, even though it's compulsory left. Remember, that signal would be for pedestrian standing there. I mean, you've all been a pedestrian before. When you stand on the corner of a junction, do you look for the indicator? Of course you do. So this one, you're heading back to the test centre, so you've got to get back into the right lane where it's safe. And you did alright. You got a couple of minors. But can he do it when he gets his driving test? Can't duplicate what you can do, what you get on the test. I mean, you can do mock tests and everything, which you do all the time. But actually, the moment you get in, I'm going to do it right at the lights here, middle mirror, right mirror, indicate right. This bit when you get in the test centre, you just cannot, literally, there's no way you can just duplicate the same feelings that you're going to get doing it, you know, like an actual driving test. Because when you do a mock test, there's a 30 here by the way, a mock test, really speaking, you know your instructor, you know, and I make sure to connect with all my pupils. Well, I'm going to take the next left here please, middle mirror, left. I connect with every one of them, so even though I pretend to be the baddie, you know, and don't get me wrong, I had one, Michael, this is not Michael this one, but he did one, and I did it really serious, and when we finished he said, it was quite funny actually, he said, are we back to normal now? That's what I laughed. I said, Mike, I've got to do this mate, you know what I mean? And we laughed about it. Okay, so we're going to come in, this is coming to the end of this thing, you know, so we've done a manoeuvre outside. So all you do now, they'll ask you to drive into a bay, or any bay, could be one of them on the right, it's got to be DVSA. I'm going to go in here. And this is where we come to the end of the test, and he only had a couple of minors, so well done mate, and I'll see you all in the next video. And that's